Maschine, the first zombies map inside of Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. This map is meant to be a reboot to the Aether zombie story and to zombies at large. This map was designed in a completely opposite direction than what zombies was in Black Ops 3 and 4. What was complexity made those games, simplicity made this game. Does it do that well? Well, let's talk about it. Of course, beginning us off, I like talking about the good things of these maps. And with a new game comes a completely new story, as we all know, the Aether story technically ended in Black Ops 4. But, similar to Chaos here, I will not be covering the story. There's simply just not enough known about it. This game tells its story in such a backwards, lopsided way that I have had no real interest in actually learning more about it. I'm sorry to those who probably wanted to hear me talk about the Dark Aether story. Like Chaos, it's really good. It is really good stuff, especially near the end of the Cold War life cycle. But as of Maschine, there's really nothing to even talk about. You literally just go to an end station facility, we learn about Zykov, and that's about it. And then we just close one of the portals and then go off to the next map. There, I summarized the story even though I said I wouldn't. You're welcome. In all seriousness, it's really nothing here even if I were to talk about the story. It's just okay, and it has a lot of room for improvement and it actually gets pretty good near the end. But leading us off in this new Zombies Aether reboot is actually a Nocturne Toten remake in Maschine. This map is Nocturne Toten, but think of Alpha Omega, in which has a bunker under it, with a snowy aesthetic and graffiti all over the bunker. And there's also the Dark Aether system in this map, where you can actually phase into the Dark Aether and see the map through a completely different perspective. Instead of having the snowy, foggy, cold aesthetic, you actually get a completely new aesthetic in the Dark Aether, which is pretty neat. Anyway, the actual map itself, the map is like one giant circle that loops into itself. It's not a very big map, it's very simple. Getting Pack-a-Punch is actually super easy. In fact, the entire first part of the quest is actually told to you on screen. Yes, there's on-screen hints now. Like I said, this map was meant to be accessible to multiplayer fans. That's why the Zombies mode feels so multiplayer-like. We have things like score streaks, which we can actually use in zombies. We have crafting tables, armor stations. We have medals for getting kills rapidly. We have a score that pops up every time we get a kill. It does grow on you after a while, but I would really prefer if there's a way to turn off like these constant messages saying I got a zombie elimination. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not sure if I'm getting any zombie kills. Maybe my game's glitched. Anyway, though, it does what it sets out to do very well. It commits to something which I can respect. It doesn't just get cold feet and stop trying. It does commit to it, unlike something like Black Ops 4, which completely just ended Chaos after Ancient Evil until Vanguard. So I guess they kind of committed to it, but regardless, they commit to the change, and honestly, I can respect the effort, and it does work pretty well. Something else that actually ends up returning from Black Ops 3 is its perk system, but has been upgraded and expanded upon with an entirely new mechanic called the Ethereum Crystals mechanic. To keep it short, all weapon classes can be upgraded multiple times. All perks in this game, there's 10 of them, can be upgraded multiple times. There is no perk limit. You can even choose which gun you want to spawn in, similar to Black Ops 4. There's gun rarities. You can actually do a super Easter egg in this game to be able to start out with the second highest rarity, which I think is actually pretty cool. And AATs also return, which can be fully upgraded. There's a new armor system that allows you to take like up to 20 hits of damage. And all of this sounds like it makes the game very easy. And it does. Like Black Ops 3's Revelations, it commits to like, yes, this game is easier. In fact, it's so easy, you can craft infinite self-revives in solo. Yes, infinite self-revives without mega gobblegums, which don't make a return, unfortunately. Yeah, you can have infinite self-revives, and honestly, I think it works fine. And besides, there is a new feature which is not actually introduced on this map. It's introduced on Mauer to Toten, but it's called the Rampage Inducer. I'll just count it for this, which makes the zombies go extremely fast, hit extremely hard, and the game's easy difficulty can be circumvented with the Rampage Inducer. If the game's too easy, just pop the Rampage Inducer and you'll be begging for infinite self-revive. So, I mean, if you say the game's too easy, it's like Black Ops 4. If the game's too easy, increase the difficulty. It's that simple. Of course, I was talking about an armor system, and with this armor system, which you need to be able to upgrade your armor, actually comes a new type of currency called salvage. It's pretty much just points. Zombies drop them, you pick it up. There's rare salvage and normal salvage. You can use it to craft score streaks, upgrade your gun rarity, and just a bunch of stuff like that. It's very simple and super easy to get the hang of. Something else super easy to get the hang of is actually this map's new wonder weapon, the DIE Shockwave, which can be upgraded into 4 elemental variants. A very welcome surprise, if I do say so myself. However, it should be noted, none of these are really that good. I mean, we have the ice and electric ones, which are pretty much just the Ray Gun Mark II V from Alpha Omega, which is just a laser that shoots infinitely and just does damage over time. and you can recharge the ammo by using the vacuum effect by ADSing. It's pretty good, but it's really nothing game-breaking for the ice and electric variants. We have an acid variant, which is similar to the ice kraken. Once you shoot it on the ground, zombies walk through it and take damage. And then the fire DIE, which I never found the point of. It just has good collateral damage, and it has a faster vacuum, I guess. These can all be pack-a-punch 3 times, which you couldn't even do until Forsaken came out. But for what they are, they're really easy to get. All players can get them with the returning challenges. You can get a free quest. The mystery box actually houses them. And the mystery box also houses the returning ray gun, which is now one of the best wonder weapons in the game, like it was in World at War. Shit does a lot of fucking damage. The ray gun is really good again. It hasn't been that good since Black Ops 2. It was good in BO3 and 4, but it's nothing compared to the one in this game. It still uses the Black Ops 4 animation set though, so that's something to keep in mind. No new animations. However, the animations in BO4 were fantastic, and with it being in this game, I'm really glad they reused the animations. There's actually a new type of feature you can do called the flourish weapon animation, which every single weapon in the game actually has a unique animation where your character examines the gun. This is a very good way to be able to examine any kind of camos that you may unlock, which I should also mention, mastery camos make a return, and you can actually get Dark Aether. It looks like Dark Matter's Stage 5 from Black Ops 4, but without the spikes. But I definitely think the grind is worth it, and it's actually not nearly as bad as Black Ops 4's grind. Black Ops 4's grind took me 2 months of playing every single day when I had the time, of playing casual and getting headshots over and over and over, while this game I pretty much played Onslaught Containment to get a lot of my camos done. So thankfully, this camo grind was very easy and well worth the effort. All in all, the flourish weapon feature is awesome, and it goes great being able to test out new camos. With the wonder weapons out of the way, I would like to actually talk about another new mechanic this game introduces: exfilling. Now, this is only really useful for high round players and not quest players, but it's still really good nonetheless. Every 5 rounds, starting from round 10, you'll be able to go up to a radio, and then after interacting with that radio, you can run to a certain point of the map, kill enough zombies, and you actually escape the map and get a bunch of rewards and XP for doing so. This is pretty much just in place so you don't get to round 257 and then decide to end your game out of nowhere or kill yourself. You can actually just go and do this little quest here to be able to get a bunch of extra XP and Ethereum crystals to upgrade your arsenal. A very good system that I really wish was added to older games. Another amazing change, in my personal opinion, is the easy and more accessible Easter egg. As I was talking about in the beginning, where the game actually gives you a lot of hints when like the first steps on how to turn on Pack-a-Punch and Power, well, this Easter egg is extremely easy. In fact, it's so easy I can pretty much summarize it like this. After turning on Power and Pack-a-Punch, what you need to do is go into Dark Aether mode. You need to build the 4 DIEs, which have upgrade quests similar to the ones on Alpha Omega and being super easy. After you upgrade the 4 DIEs, you build the Aether Scope. You then interact with 3 ghosts. You get a Megaton to split. You enter a code into a computer to open up a canister, pull the Megaton into it, get a wrench, hit a tank, pick up a decontamination agent, watch a cutscene, boss fight. It's very easy stuff. It was out of order, I know, but I don't really need to talk about the Easter egg steps. Everybody knows how to do the Maschine Easter egg, and it was made to be extremely easy. And in fact, it's so easy you don't even need a guide for this Easter egg. You can figure it out yourself with the in-map clues. And while it is controversial that people don't like these super easy Easter eggs, I do. I really like these Easter eggs. I hated them at first, but you know, just to boot up a game of Cold War Zombies, run through a quick Easter egg, maybe 1 or 2 depending on what map you want to play, and just finish up. Get a bunch of rewards for doing so, as this map's Easter eggs ends with an exfil. This map doesn't actually have a standard boss fight. It has a lockdown with Orlov, which is someone from the Dark Aether story, who started up the end station machine. It's complicated. The story, for wanting to be a reboot, sure is very linear with no complexity to it whatsoever. All joking aside, the last step is pretty cool. Orlov, for some reason, doesn't lose health even though you're supposed to protect him. It seems like it's bugged to me. It's still a really cool Easter egg nonetheless, and it being very easy is always nice, because if the map's Easter egg is too easy, just pop the Rampage Inducer. All in all, the Easter egg, the Rampage Inducer, and all these awesome new features really help Cold War stand on its own and feel like its own Zombies game without it shamelessly rehashing old Zombies games. However, I do have some legitimately bad things to quickly talk about. There's no crew. I'm just gonna rip the band-aid off. There's no crew. No Primus, no Ultimus, no Victus, no Mob of the Dead crew, no Call of the Dead crew, nothing. You have operators. You have multiplayer operators that have no story dialogue whatsoever. They have the same personality as a fucking cardboard box. They have no funny dialogue, and in fact, the entire reason the operators exist is to sell skins like in fucking Fortnite. Either add Beast Gohan to this goddamn game, or I want no part of this stupid goddamn mechanic. I don't know what they were thinking with this system. I get it, actually. It's obviously to sell skins. However, why didn't they add canonical dialogue with each of the characters minus maybe Max's? Why? I'll tell you why. Because Activision slashed the budget for Zombies, so they have 20 cents to make each map. I understand that. I cannot stand the fact that there is no story interaction with your characters. What's worse too is there actually is a canonical crew of the strike team, which is what your crew is called in this game. However, those canonical cast members have no unique dialogue on this map. What it should be like is actually a game like World War II Zombies, I believe, where there is a set cast, but they all have skins that they sell. That would have been the perfect solution, and sounds like a great fun idea. But no, instead, we have 2 Alex Masons, Snoop Dogg, and Samantha Maxis all fighting the Forsaken while there's another Samantha Maxis about to sacrifice herself to save the world. Truly emotional stuff. Anyway, though, another problem I have with this map is there's no side content. None. There is literally 1 or 2 side Easter eggs that have no real in-game value. There's some for some bonus points, but points are a fucking joke to get in this game. So what is the point of those Easter eggs? It's not like Black Ops 4's Alpha Omega, where you can shoot the heads off of 30 mannequins, get a free perk, and then get a secret boss round. That shit doesn't exist in this map. And it really, really hurts it, in my opinion. Because something I love to do in Alpha Omega, for example, is to go around and get that free perk and maybe save the mannequin round for a round where I know I'm going to need some points. Maybe I can manage to combine it with a who's keeping score to rack up a bunch of points. You can't do any of that shit here. Because first of all, Gobblegums don't exist, which really hurt in my opinion. Especially since Gobblegums make the game too easy. Well, Infinite Self-Revives also make the game too easy, doesn't it? Sound a little hypocritical there, don't we? I don't know, dude. It just really sucks that there's no side content on this map. And another problem I have is the fact that there is no perk limit. I am against this change. I understand that perks become more expensive, and there's actually a new feature called Wonder Fizz. I am actually alone on this hill and against this feature, because Wonder Fizz returns, but it's not random. You can just buy all your perks at one location, starting from round 15. And the perk price goes up every time you buy it. I don't like this change. There should be a way to unlock all 10 perk slots in the game legitly. They should not be handed to you by proxy. That is a terrible design choice. Yes, it kind of goes in line with the game just committing to being easy. I get that. But they should have made it unlockable to be able to get all 10 perk slots in-game. Maybe after doing a certain amount of challenges, you unlock the rest of the perk slots. Something. I just feel like getting all 10 perk slots in the beginning of the game is a little much. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, and maybe if I play the game a little more, it probably won't bother me as much, as the perk prices do get really expensive. But it just really sucks, because the old days of Origins going around unlocking all the perk slots was just the biggest sense of accomplishment ever. That's not really here in Cold War, I guess with the Master Camos it is, but I digress. I just feel like maybe it's a little much having all these perks being able to just be given to you. I don't know, maybe that's just me, or maybe it's just the old Zombies fan and me talking, but I just don't like it that much. I can see why so many people do, though, so the fact so many people do like it is a pro on its own. Anyway, that's the end of Die Maschine. I think the map's honestly really good. It's one of my favorite 4 Cold War maps, so that's really cool. I really do enjoy this map. It has a lot of cool stuff. I love the Wonder Weapons, despite them being more mediocre than anything. They're really fun and really easy to build, and really easy to get as well, just the DIE Shockwave being very good on its own. It's a very good map overall that did exactly what it set out to do, and that is to introduce a completely new type of fan to the Zombies mode.